Hey darlings, welcome back to my channel. It's Mika Gem. Okay, so in today's video, I'm going to talk about the top 3 myths about luxury shopping and luxury brands. I'm seeing a lot of misinformation at the moment in like YouTube comment sections whenever I'm like watching luxe videos and shopping videos in general. So I wanted to dispel a few myths. I just will tell you my bona fides. I had a business, like a boutique business where I sold to a lot of luxury clients. I know people work in the luxury industry currently. And I think that there's a lot of misinformation that people kind of are internalizing and not really understanding how it works. The first myth that I hear all the time, I read it everywhere, I hear it from people, is that people who have money don't spend money on luxury. That is patently not true, and it is just not true. So a few days ago, I was watching like one of those documentaries that's on Channel 5 in the UK. There are lots of clips on their YouTube channel. It's called Rich Kids Go Skint. For those of you who aren't from Britain, skint means broke, basically. So someone was saying like, oh, all these rich kids are always talking about how much money they have and stuff, when people with real money like don't like spend money on those types of things. And you hear it all the time with, you know, these sayings like wealth whispers and things like that. To a certain degree, some of that is true, but it doesn't tell the full story. And let me just talk about women, because obviously I am a woman, so it's like easier to talk about it in that sense. But one of the biggest like myths that I've heard is that this whole thing of like rich people not buying luxury products, it is just rubbish at this point in the game. Luxury brands like Hermes, Chanel, you know, Vuitton, they would not exist without the top selling clients who basically buy these products. The people who buy the most, who are constantly shopping, they are some of the most loaded people that you will find or even hear of. I think sometimes people project in order to feel better about themselves. So if you're someone who maybe you're into the luxury world, but you feel like, oh, it can't possibly be like this, and they're probably just like not even rich, there are a lot of people pretending, but there are more people who can afford this lifestyle than there are people who are keeping up with the Joneses and maybe getting themselves into debt buying luxury products. And let me caveat that you should not be getting into debt to buy luxury products. That is not cool, and no one should be doing that. You should make smart, prudent decisions, but you also shouldn't like, you know, project and think that people who, you know, have money don't buy luxury products. That is just not true. That's absolute rubbish. Okay. So I just wanted to put that out there because I'm seeing this being thrown around as this trope, and it's just not true. So the next thing I would say that is a myth, basically, when it comes to luxury shopping, or a secret, as it were, is 80% of luxury revenues come from 20% of the client base today. A lot of you, I know, are angry at Chanel, you're ticked off at them, you have every single right to be as a client. But what you need to understand is Chanel have done the mathematics here. Okay, they've realized that most of their revenues are coming from the same 10% of their client base, who are probably the VIP clients. There are probably lots of YouTubers on here that are Chanel VIPs, maybe even without realizing it. So they've decided they want to put all their energy and their efforts into the people who can constantly buy throughout the year. That is what brands like Chanel are looking for. That's what luxury brands are looking for. You're looking for repeat clients, not people who maybe will do one big purchase here and then will go dark for a while and then not buy anything. So that raises interesting questions. You know, is it financial discrimination? Absolutely, to a certain degree. As a private company, are they entitled to discriminate you based on money? Well, it seems like they are, as long as it's not about your religion, your sexual orientation, or your race, or your gender. Private companies are pretty much allowed to do what they want to do, as long as they're not doing it based on those things. And I think one of the biggest things that people need to realize is luxury brands are in the business of making money. Okay, guys? They're not in the business of just creating these cute little bags so that we can like fawn over them and make videos about them. They want to make some money. They love them some bags of money. And they've realized where the money is coming from. And the money is coming from VIPs, or at the very least below VIPs, those kind of high net worth individuals who are buying every now and then. Are you someone who buys Vuitton a few times a year? Yes or no? If you are, you're the type of client that Vuitton wants to hear from and that Vuitton wants to connect to. Maybe you will be a VIP for them eventually, but you're definitely someone who they would want to sell to. And that's the point I'm trying to make. Luxury brands are in the business to make money. They only make money from a minority of the people who buy from them. That's where the profit is, and that's where they're going to put all of their energy. In addition to the sort of like let's say top 20 or top 10% being the VIPs. In general, from my experience when I was dealing with my luxury beauty business, the most chilled out customers who did not bring aggro or stress on me, my sales team, the delivery team, were the people who were the sort of like what you would call the VIPs or the more kind of high-end clients. They're the ones who are not troublesome to deal with. And this is a fact. So I think something that people don't understand, and when people are complaining about Chanel, like, oh, they don't want my money, they don't want my money. A lot of the times, Chanel and brands like that are looking at their resources. How many resources can I dedicate to Kagem today, who's coming in to buy? I have no idea if she's buying. So I don't know if I'm going to dedicate like 3 or 4 essays to her. I don't know her budget. I don't know what she's buying. I don't know if she's going to buy an Alma BB, if she's going to buy a Fendi Baguette, or if she's going to buy a Crocodile Birkin. I don't know what she's going to do. How much of my effort am I going to put into this client if she's only going to buy Chanel costume jewelry? Now, this is a very controversial opinion, but I'm telling you as someone who has been in this space, okay? I'm not currently doing the luxury business anymore. And it's not because it wasn't successful, it was. But one of the biggest things that I realized is the amount of resources it takes to actually run a luxury business is phenomenal. Like, the sheer amount of effort, money, assets, human capital, like the amount of people you need who need to be trained, how to treat people properly, how to give that like luxury service, that's so amazing. So I think next time that you're thinking like, why are they pushing me out? They're pushing you out because they want to allocate their resources to clients who they think are going to be more profitable for them. And that's just the way it is. That doesn't mean that it's right. That just means that's the situation that's going on at the moment. Okay, guys, so the final secret that I would say about luxury shopping and the luxury world that I think the sort of general public who maybe are into luxury brands maybe don't know about is the most profitable products in the luxury market in general tend to be the ones that basically they don't need that much work to be pushed forward, but the products that actually build the clientele who bring future luxury, i.e. pret-a-porter, they need so many resources and they don't bring that much money in. So let's take Chanel, for example. They make tons of money from their bags, from their accessories, but the pret-a-porter is what keeps Chanel in the public eye. It's what keeps the powers that be, the Wertheimer family, well fed. It's what keeps people like Virginie and the seamstresses at Chanel in their jobs. But pret-a-porter is not like a money spinner like bag. So you might say, well, why wouldn't they treat me well when I'm coming with my, 5,000 pounds that I've worked really hard for and saved for? At the end of the day, they want you to buy the clothes, okay? They want you to one day come to them and say you want a Chanel wedding dress. So if you're just someone who's putting your money together to buy the bags, they don't see future profit in you. Luxury brands are long-term thinkers. They're not just thinking about a quick buck, about today, about tomorrow. They're thinking 10 years from now, where am I going to make my money? So I think it's really, really important to take these things on that I said. Whenever you're thinking about luxury brands, I'm not saying, oh, all these poor luxury companies, they're making mounds and mounds of money. But what I'm saying is luxury brands are going to continue to look for VIP clients who can spend money. Luxury brands just want to focus on VIPs. They just want to make their money from VIPs. They're not interested in dealing with the sort of general people who just come and buy every now and then. That is not what luxury brands in 2021 will be doing. I am telling you this now because I can literally feel it. I can see things percolating when I'm reading reports from luxury brands. I'm reading their earnings reports. They are done with the general public. I'm telling you these secrets because these are things that I've seen. I'm telling you right now, the best luxury clients are the ones at this point in the game who are not troublesome and who don't create drama for essays and things like that. I'm not saying that you do create drama, but what I'm saying is luxury brands know where their basically bread is buttered at this point and they just want to deal with them. Do we think it's right? Do you think it's wrong? I'd love to know what you think. Just really quickly, I wanted to show you this red wallet that my husband got me for Christmas. It's so cute. I just wanted to show it to you guys. He got this for me because he was like, you know, I've noticed like you don't have a card holder at the moment. I was like, I really don't. And I did actually need a new wallet. So he got this for me. So let me just show you. It's so pretty inside. I haven't had anything red in ages. So I'm glad that he's going to try and inspire me to try like new colors. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? Doesn't it look like a book or something? I love that the interior is red. So obviously that's where all the card holders will go. And, in here, it's like this, inside, like that. That's for the coins. And then this is for bills. This reminds me of something Styled for Life said in one of her videos about how she likes when bills are nice and straight. I couldn't agree more. And she doesn't like folding them. She wants them to sit. I absolutely agree. So yeah, I got this for Christmas. I love it so much. And yeah, I'm going to start using it tomorrow. I just love it. So you know, when you like get a wallet, it makes you excited to also like go to the ATM and get cash out so you can like put your cash in here. So yeah, this is one of the things he got me for Christmas. I just wanted to share it with you guys really quickly. So yeah, please guys, make sure that if you like my videos, make sure you subscribe to my channel, hit that bell. Please give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. It really helps to support my channel. I'm going to have loads of videos next week. I'm actually also going on holiday with my husband, but I'm going to have videos pre-recorded, but please make sure that you comment. It means the world to me when any of you comment. It makes me so happy and I will absolutely respond, as you know. So I hope that you guys stick around and you sub to my channel, and yeah, tell me what you guys would like to see from me and maybe video suggestions if you want to see different types of things from me. I'm very open. This is a shopping channel, so as long as it's about shopping, please make sure that you leave me a comment and tell me what you think. So yeah guys, thanks for watching this video. Tell me what you think of the things that you've learned from me maybe today, or maybe you did know them, or you want to give out your own experiences, and I'll see you in my next video.